Ausar Thompson had another great game.
Yes.
Filled up the stat sheet, made a lot of different plays. His best game.
Yeah.
He had that play. Obviously, you've all seen it by now. It went viral. He ripped up Grady Dick on the sideline and then threw it back to Marcus Sasser. Marcus Sasser threw it up to him for the reverse alley-oop. It was just an amazing play.
Nasty.
What would you grade Ausar Thompson's
domination of
Ausar Tompadiah's performance last night and his performance in the summer league so far?
To be honest with you, an A+. Like, do I sound like a homer when I say these things? I mean,
yes.
I'll go A.
A+?
Because you want to see the 3-point shooting, which hasn't been there yet. But he had that one right before the end of the halftime, I believe it was, the third quarter. Well, no, A+. Or A. I'll go A. He is, like, when Stanley Johnson dominated the summer league, it's, again, like, a lot of people like look at the box scores and stuff like that. But, like, when Stanley Johnson did it, he was just, like, bullying kids. He was just, like, the same way I used to do in 2K. Just fucking, like, run to the paint, put a shoulder down, hit the layup, hope for a foul. This is different with Ausar Thompson. There's so much more, like, grace. It's almost like, I don't know how to explain it, man. He just looks so graceful out there when he's running the floor and in control. Chris and I were talking about it a little bit earlier today, and obviously on yesterday's show too, but, like, just like the pairing of he and K, I don't even know there's, like, a comp right now. I'm starting to lean. I mean, obviously there's not the 3-point shot there yet that we can speak on, but almost Jaylen Brown maybe without the shot. Like I saw someone on Twitter say Tayshaun. I hate that comp only because he's not 6'9".
Yeah,
there's a difference there.
He's close,
but
no Jaylen Brown, bro.
No
Jaylen Brown can't dribble. Like,
sorry, dribble. He's an amazing ball handler too.
So he's Jaylen Brown with playmaking.
Jaylen Brown with playmaking is a pretty good comp. I'm not gonna lie. Who would your comp be, Chris, so far through what you've seen?
Brown
it's still, I'm sticking with the pre-draft comp of Iguodala. It's a lot of just the complete versatility that he offers, and that's the difference that Easy was getting to, is that everything this kid does is so fluid. It's always within the flow of the game. He's never kind of stepping out and taking over. Even when he's filling the stat sheet, it never feels like it until you look at the final box score.
Yes.
And that's what makes him such a great player, a player that you can build around so many different ways, which is the key for this Pistons team that, let's face it, doesn't have a lot of talent. They're just taking talent. And this is a guy that could fit damn near anywhere in the NBA. So I would give it an A-. I think, like you said, the only thing missing is a 3-point shot and a little bit of aggression. But again, if you have these players on the Pistons roster that become what people think they become, then he doesn't need that. That would just be an amazing bonus. But this kid is going to be an impactful player in the league for at least 12 years. He's going to have a very long career, and he's going to be a very, very impactful player. And he will be a champion. He said he wants to bring a championship to Detroit. We'll see if it's here, but this is a championship player.
I wonder if we'll ever see an Amish player in the NBA.
Maybe baseball.
Baseball would be
pretty good at
baseball would be the sport, or hockey. They probably just play hockey in their bare feet on
soccer
frozen lakes.
Bleeding foot. Oh. All right, back to Ausar Thompson.
All right, yeah, Ausar Thompson. When you were talking about him yesterday, that is something that I really like about him, how you said that now the Pistons have a guy that if someone's going off, if someone on the other team is balling, is dropping, hitting everything, making all their shots, you can let go of the chain and put Ausar Thompson on him.
Yes.
Be like, all right, Ausar, go clamp up.
Yeah.
Go lock that man down. And we didn't have that before. The Pistons didn't have a legitimate defensive stopper last year, to say the least. They didn't have legitimate defensive anything last year. But now they have a guy that if someone on the other team is playing well, is shooting the ball well, is doing whatever they want, you're like, all right, I'm going to put Ausar on him, and he's going to, at the very least, piss him off. At the very least, be a nuisance because of his length, his athleticism, his lateral quickness, all the different things that you see in his game is going to help him at the very least piss off a Kevin Durant, piss off a Kawhi Leonard, piss off one of these guys that nobody can really stop.
Yeah.
But you can get into them, make them regret going to the hole, make them regret being on the same floor as you.
Just take them out of rhythm.
Get in their head a little bit. Yeah, take them out of rhythm. That's what I like.
I mean, last night we even got to see him in a way run the offense as well. And he was good at it. This kid, he does everything. He does. And we said it yesterday. He does everything outside of 3-point shoot. He plays defense in terms of stealing the basketball. He plays defense in terms of blocking the basketball. Deep transition defense. He could play make. He could set up shots for other guys. I mean, there was another play where he stole the ball again. There's going up for another alley-oop. But the other, fortunately enough for the Raptors, they blocked it. But And Joe D was watching too, and he was like, "Did you see that?"
Yeah.
They're interviewing Joe D, and Joe D, I mean, that's a bad boy. He loves defense. He's like, "Did you guys see that?" Paused the interview and everything while I broke my phone.
No, the other thing I saw that was really little, but I liked a lot about this kid is that you watch his post-game interview, and he was obviously the guy to interview because he led the team back to victory. But he was a little awkward in the interview, and I like that because it's a guy that you could tell he's not building his persona around being a star. It's simply about winning with him. Yeah. All his answers were about winning and contributing to the team and being a successful player in the NBA, but nothing personal. It wasn't the moment that you see these stars have where they get on the mic and they say something like Damian Lillard in the bubble, when he just absolutely, took control and said, this is what we're put here to do. Ausar didn't do that. Ausar is so focused on winning basketball and contributing to winning basketball, and I think that's what Troy likes in him a lot, and I think that's what Monty likes in him a lot, and I think it's going to go, again, a long way with this guy. This guy's going to be awesome. I'm all in on it.
The keys to wisdom in the Woodward Sports chat says Ausar is 100% not a starter with Caden Ivey, much better suited to be off the bench with the better shooters.
I don't know about that. I mean, I don't. He literally fits anywhere. Like I don't think there's a wrong place to put him. Whether you start him, whether he comes off the bench, like he fits both spots. Obviously, if he's on the floor, Caden Ivey, you want him to shoot the three ball a little bit more. But again, last night he was playmaking. He was setting up guys with the ball, so he could. It's crazy to be saying this, but he could almost be the third ball handler and sub shots for Caden Ivey. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys want to buy Ivey's rim pressure and Caden's ability to do the same. Ausar can provide that. I mean, you really play this guy, put him anywhere. This is a piece that almost any team in the league would want.
Yeah. And, like, I'm already imagining it with Cade and Ausar doing pick and rolls. And although he's the three, you could kind of get Cade to switch on to you can get a slower wing on Cade that he could take advantage of, or Ausar, a smaller guard that he can then bully. And just the IQ and passing between those two. Yes. If Ausar is the roll man, you're like, he's going to 10 times out of 10, he's going to make the right pass and when the numbers game. Like, that's what Draymond Green does so well in the playmaking aspect of the pick and roll. It's like, as a roll man, he is deadly because every time it's either the floater, it's the lob, or the kick to the corner. It's one of those three reads, and damn near every time Draymond's like a computer, and he just makes the right read. And I see a lot of that in Ausar, and that's what you love about this team is that there's so much flexibility, and him and Cade together will be absolutely great. But he will be good with shooters too.
DNC ENT echoes the sentiments. He said, I absolutely agree. Cade, Ivey, Ausar, Stu, Duran, where the fuck is the spacing? Are you worried about that? Yeah, the spacing. But that is not. You don't have an elite shooter on the floor. Obviously, we think Cade's going to be better. We expect Cade to be around 35% from three, somewhere around there. Ivey, he was around that last year. Yeah. So if he can continue to do that, that's good as well. Ausar, we don't know just yet what he's going to be. And Stu, low 30s, 31, 32. Yeah. Is that enough shooting to have on the perimeter in today's NBA?
I mean, it's really going to be really dependent on the step up from both Cade and Ivey in that standpoint.
And Stu. He just got the contract extension.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to find out. It's kind of similar to, like, the point that Chris and I were getting to earlier. It was like, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday, like, we couldn't really find the comp. You know what I'm saying? And Chris, you related to the involvement of the league?
Yeah. I mean, what it is it's hard to find a Cade and Ausar pairing because, truthfully, these two players in specifics are products of the new basketball that we're in, the last decade, 15 years of the NBA. It's positionless with Ausar, but it's also the pick and roll heavy that Cade is a product of. He's a product of, again, the Lukas, the James Hardens, all of these players over the last 7, 8, 10 years that have been just dominant ball players. And then you have Ausar, who's just kind of been this ultimate glue guy that can also do playmaking and all these other things. So it's really just it's a hard combination because they have both such broad skills across all of the spectrum, which is what makes them very good.
Yeah, it's you have multiple guys now that can guard multiple positions. You look at Cade and Ausar, you can move them around. They can both guard a 3, a 2, or a 1. So if you do start them on the floor at the same time, which I expect, because I don't think Bojan's going to be on this team. Do you still think Bojan's going to be on this team to start the season?
No, the talks are already like heating up again. Our conversation's going on. But the rumor mill's already spin on that one too. And think about it this way too, guys. Like with Ausar Thompson, you finally afford to trade Jaden Ivey. Not playing, but the talks already started with.
Yeah, but Bojan, since the day Detroit acquired him, was a trade piece. Like, we looked at it and we said it on our show the very first time it happened is this is a good trade for Troy because he got assets, plus he can then flip this for more assets. So Bojan's always going to be in trade talks, and what Tim Bontemps said, which is what you're alluding to, was that Dallas was interested in him, but he even said in that quote, I don't think Dallas has the assets to get it done.
Yeah.
Which means that Bojan is still highly regarded around the league, which is a good thing because I was starting to think maybe his value's kind of waning a little bit. But
he's still a piece that people will
yeah,
want.
he's still a piece that people want. And at the end of the day, this team, there will be a lack of shooting, but they have elite athleticism, and these players just have to learn how to figure out how to play together. Like, they have to make these things work. And what Troy is betting on right now is Cade getting better at shooting, Ivy getting better at shooting, Ausar getting better at shooting, Stu getting better at shooting.
That's a lot.
That's a lot to bet on. That's a lot to bet on. And then he's also betting on the collective IQ because you have so much playmaking between all of them. Jalen Duren's even shown flashes of playmaking. So that's what Troy is betting on.